proposal, all the way up to just after Wildcat Media org had confirmation. Seeing no discussion, does anybody oppose unanimous consent to the motion? Seeing no opposition, that passes 7-0-0. We move back into the discussion of minutes and agenda. I would like to entertain a motion to add to old business a bill that should have been on the agenda. It's the election policy change. It was introduced before break and it should have been on old business. Do I have a so moved? So moved by Senator Fisher. Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Blackwood. Do we have any discussion on this? Our president.
Can I just ask the secretary to send that out if this is approved?
Senator Fisher.
This is the election committee bill?
Yes, it was the change to election committee. It was in new business before break, and because we didn't have a Senate meeting last week, this week we will be taking care of it, and it should have been in old business. Do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, does anybody oppose unanimous consent to the motion? Seeing none, that passes 7-0-0. Do we have any more discussion for the approval of agenda and minutes today? Our president.
So I would like to entertain a motion to, in the agenda, underneath new business, I would like to entertain a motion to change where it says Resolution 2324-13, 2024 to 2025 budget reserves. I would like to entertain a motion to change that to Resolution 2324-13 SGU budget, as this is the name it was given, and it should be expressed as so underneath the new business for clarification reasons.
Do I have a so moved? So moved by Senator Wallachy. Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Fisher. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Seeing no further discussion, does anybody oppose unanimous consent to the motion? Seeing no opposition, that passes 7-0-0. Do we have any further discussion on the approval of agenda and minutes? Did you still want to move on? Did you still want to have open forum before?
Oh, yes.
Our president.
Thank you for reminding me. I would like to entertain a motion to put, to move open forum up to before old business.
Do we have a second to the motion? Seconded by Senator Fisher. Do we have any, so moved by Senator Fisher. Do we have a second? Seconded by Senator Totino. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Senator Totino.
Yeah.
Do we have any further discussion on the motion? Our esports.
Why do you want to move it up?
Our president.
So we had a recent resignation from our college council representative, meaning we need to do college council elections, and we need to do them as soon as possible because we have a college council meeting coming up, and whoever is elected should have time to prepare that presentation and meet with the vice president for student affairs to go over that.
Do we have any further discussion on this? Seeing none, does anybody oppose unanimous consent to the motion? Seeing none, that passes 7-0-0. I would like to entertain a motion to skip all reports today because the agenda is so busy. Do we have a so moved? So moved by Senator Gunter. Do we have a second? Seconded by Senator Blackwood. Do we have any discussion on the motion to skip all reports? Seeing none, does anybody oppose unanimous consent? Seeing none, that passes 7-0-0. All reports will be skipped today. Do we have any further discussion on the approval of minutes and agenda today? Seeing none, all those in favor of the approval of minutes and agenda? Please raise your hand like super high so I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All those who oppose? And all those who abstain. The minutes and agenda pass 7-0-0. We will now move on to announcements. I do have a few announcements today. We had a couple resignations that I would like to announce today. We did have a senator leave our team recently. We also had, as Bailey said, the college council resigned. And then the secretary-elect has pulled out of their position due to some conflict. So as it stands, the new executive board will look like Bela Totino as your president-elect and Zach Reynolds as your vice president-elect, with the treasurer and secretary position remaining open. We will now move on to guest speakers. We have no guest speakers. Oh,
Never mind.
we have no guest speakers. Seeing as all reports have been skipped, we will now move into open forum as per the previous motion. Do we have any discussion for open forum? Yeah. Seeing no, our esports team.
I just want to announce that for FragFest, we will be having 24 computers for students, but we will be unable to provide all students with the necessary peripherals. We will only have 14 provided from our arena. So during FragFest, which is from the 12th to the 14th of April, in 2 weeks from tomorrow, we will ask students to provide their own peripherals. They will get priority over computers if they bring their own. And if you are using our provided peripherals from the arena, we ask you not to consume any food or drink near the peripherals, as we do have to use those. I yield.
Do we have any other discussion for open forum?
Point of clarification, what's a peripheral?
Like headsets, keyboards, and mice.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Do we have any further discussion for open forum? Seeing none, we will enter a period in which we will vote on our college council representative. This works exactly like the pro temp election, except the only people that can be nominated for this position are going to be e-board members, so either myself, our treasurer, our president, or our secretary. How this will work is I will accept all nominations, then we will enter a period of questioning if so chosen by the Senate and by our audience members and our org heads. After that, we will take a vote on who the sole candidate will be, and then we'll enter another period of voting to affirm that sole candidate. Do I have any questions regarding the college council election? Seeing none, I will begin the election now. I will now be taking referrals for nominations for the college council position off the floor.
Oh, good God.
Seeing no nominations, in the case of no nominations, according to our policies and procedures, the nomination falls on the vice president. We have a nomination from Senator Gunter. Bailey Wadsworth, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Do we have any further nominations for the floor? Seeing no further nominations from the floor, we will enter a period of questioning if the Senate so chooses. Do we have any questions for the college council representative? Candidate. Seeing no questions for the college council candidate, we will take a vote on the sole candidate. The candidate is Bailey Wadsworth to fulfill the vacant college council position until the end of her term. All those in favor? All those who oppose? And all those who abstain. Congratulations, Bailey Wadsworth, on being the interim college council. You will swear in at the end of this meeting.
Oh, thank you so much.
Does anybody have anything else for open forum? Do we have any swear-ins? Seeing none, we will exit open forum and we will enter old business.
Do I swear in then? Was I supposed to swear in 2 seconds ago?
Probably.
Do you want me to?
Do you want to swear in? How do I swear you in? Only the president's supposed to swear in.
Oh my gosh.
Can you defer that responsibility to me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we've
Yeah.
never had this situation happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm deferring responsibility. Oh, shoot, I don't know the
I'm
oath.
deferring responsibilities to Ava for 2 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna swear her in for college council now.
If you look it up, it's the oath of office.
Oh my God, I've never done the oath of office. I think I actually have once and I wasn't supposed to.
I'm gonna defer all my responsibilities to the president-elect.
Do you wanna come up and do the oath of office, Bayla? As the president-elect? That makes more sense? I have it pulled up if you wanna come up here.
Do it from memory. Come on, memorize it right now.
You're gonna need you wanna use my mic? Come here, use my mic.
All right. Do I raise my right hand too?
Yes.
Okay. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Bailey Wadsworth,
Will faithfully uphold the student government at Utica
will faithfully uphold the student government Utica
Constitution and carry out the duties of state your organization position
and carry and threw me off. Constitution and carry out the duties of college council representative for SGU
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and will represent the students of SUNY Poly in a fair and unbiased manner.
and will represent the students of SUNY Poly in a fair and unbiased manner.
Way to go.
Alrighty, seeing as swear-ins have been concluded, we will now move into old business. Bill number 2324-12, it's gonna be the election policy update. Did everybody receive that? Our esports.
Erica, she's here for web, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
What is it, Ava? Resolution or bill?
It's gonna be a bill. Election committee update. We are in recess until,
Do we want to take a 2-minute recess?
what was that?
Okay, we might need to.
Yes, that's the one. Can I entertain a motion to take a recess until the email sent out to everyone?
2 minutes?
2-minute recess. I did so moved by someone who's so
Fisher.
moved by Senator Fisher. Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Gunter. I'd like to rescind my motion as it has been sent out. Seeing as it has been sent out, we will enter that because it is a motioned bill. Hold on, I'm trying to figure everything out here. Bill number, does everybody have it to begin with? Bill number 2324-12, changes to election committee, pro temp Schnorr. It was motioned on, I'm sorry.
Motion to accept Senate Bill number 2324-12.
Do we have no second because it is a committee bill?
We, the members of the student government at Utica of SUNY Poly, as represented in the Senate, do enact as follows. The purpose of this bill is to change the way election committee chair is chosen.
Do we have any discussion on the bill? Seeing no discussion on the bill, because this is an old business, we will move into a period of voting. All those in favor of the bill? All those who oppose? And all those who abstain? This bill passes 7-0-0. We will now move into new business, Resolution 2324-11, Web Org Head Confirmation. Senator Fisher. Yes, absolutely.
Motion to accept resolution number 2324-11.
Do we have a second? Seconded by Senator Totino. You may proceed.
We, the Senate of SUNY Poly Student Government at Utica, do hereby resolve the purpose of this resolution is to confirm Erica, I don't want to mispronounce the name, Lane, sorry, as the web organizational head in the student government at Utica, whereas the executive board has nominated Erica Line to fill the upcoming vacant web organization head position within the student government at Utica. There be it enacted, the student government at Utica considers and confirms the nomination of Erica Lane as the web organizational head. Therefore, be it resolved, contractual obligations pertaining to the organization head position shall be begin at the conclusion of April 25th Senate meeting in which this resolution is adopted and.
Okay. Seeing as the reading has been concluded, I would like to entertain a motion to limit discussion to 5 minutes, or to 3 questions. We discussed 3 questions. 3 questions. Discussion, entertain a motion to limit discussion to 3 questions, after which we will immediately enter a period of executive session. Do I have a so moved? So moved by Senator Totino. Do we have any discussion? Senator Gunter.
Suggestion to amend it to 4 questions, as 3 seems too little.
I will accept the amendment to 4 questions. Do we have a second to the amendment? Seconded by Senator Wallachy. Do we have any discussion on the amendment to 4 questions instead of 3? Seeing no discussion on the amendment, we will now vote on the amendment. All those in favor of amending the original motion to say 4 questions instead of 3, raise your hands down. All those who oppose? And all those who abstain. That motion passes, or the amendment passes 6-1-0. We will move back into the discussion of the original motion to limit discussion to 4 questions and then enter a period of executive session. Do we have any discussion on the original motion? Wildcat Media.
I make a motion right now.
We are in a motion.
Okay.
We cannot have any motions.
Unless you're amending it.
Esports.
Can I have a suggestion to wait to do executive session until both org heads have gotten questioning, so we do not have to go into executive session twice?
Unfortunately, we cannot do that because they're separate resolutions.
All right, sounds good.
You're fine.
Good question.
It is a good question. Do we have any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those who oppose? And all those who abstain. That motion passes 6-1-0. We will now enter a period of questioning of 4 questions. I will allow for 1 minute for the candidate to introduce themselves. Do I have any opposition to that? Alrighty, you'll get 1 minute to introduce yourself.
My name is Erica Line. I am a communications and media design major, and I'm really excited to be here.
Alrighty. Seeing as the period of time in which the candidate has to introduce himself has concluded, we will now move into a period of questioning. Senator Fisher.
What kind of leadership experience do you have that makes it so you think you're best suited for this role?
I have lots of leadership experience, starting first off with little kids, elementary ages, up to middle schoolers, and then coaching teams before for cheerleading. And then I also have learned so far as being a marketing chair on the web team that there's a lot that goes into leadership, and I've been willing to witness it and see what goes into it, and that's why I'm going for this position, because it's something that I really like to do.
The second question. Wildcat Media.
How do you plan on promoting inclusivity in your organization?
I've actually opened up to already asking my friends who have different cultures specifically, asking them what kind of stuff they want to see, what kind of events they want to see, and hoping to get it out there to other students as well, asking what they would like to see, some type of stuff that they would like to bring in, even help host an event type of stuff.
The third question, Senator Gunter.
Understanding of the duties and responsibilities of the organizational head of Web.
The understanding is that there's, first off, a lot that goes into it, and then there's the understanding of communicating with people, being very organized, and keeping a very cohesive team, I guess you could say, making sure that communication is out there, everybody knows what they're doing, everybody gets involved, and then also just going through the motions of like Engage, Cork, the social medias, and keeping engaged with students in general.
And for the final question. Our esports team.
Something you learned from being in web this year that would help you with if you get this position?
Something I learned is to definitely be more out there, like getting involved with the students and not just being like, oh yeah, I'm running this event, but like being like, oh, I can check you in, oh, I can answer questions about this. Just definitely getting more involved and not just being that person who's just running the event, I guess you could say.
Seeing as the questioning period has ended, we will now enter executive session via the motion. All audience members will be asked to leave the room at this time. because or before already happened, yeah. Let me know when we're back live. Alrighty. We're all set? Alrighty, I will let Bailey take a seat and then I will announce the results. Seeing as we have exited executive session and we are back live with our media team, the results of 2324-11, this resolution does not pass the Senate. We will now be moving on to the next resolution, 2324-12, Senator Totino.
Motion to accept resolution number 2324-12.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Blackwood.
We the Senate of the SUNY Poly Student Government at Utica do hereby resolve the purpose of this resolution is to confirm Rachel Solomon as the Wildcat Media organizational head in the Student Government at Utica, whereas the Executive Board has nominated Rachel Solomon to fulfill the upcoming vacant WCM organizational head position within the Student Government at Utica. Therefore, be it enacted, the Student Government at Utica Senate considers and confirms the nomination of Rachel Solomon as the WCM organizational head. Therefore, be it resolved, contractual obligations pertaining to the organizational head position shall begin at the conclusion of the April 25th Senate meeting in which this resolution is adopted.
Alrighty. Seeing as that has been finished in reading, I would like to entertain a motion to limit questions to 4 questions. Do I have a so moved? So moved by Senator Totino. Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Wallachy. Do we have any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, does anybody oppose unanimous consent? Seeing none, this motion passes 6-0-1. I will give the candidate a minute to introduce themselves, and then we will enter a period of 4 questions. You may begin.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm currently Wildcat Media's live events coordinator, and I've been so for this is my 2nd year being so, and I'm an interactive media game design major, and I also work in the writing center.
Alrighty, thank you. Seeing as that has concluded, we will now enter a period of questioning for the first question. Wildcat Media.
And on facilitating inclusivity in the organization.
I plan on, by not saying no. I mean, we have, especially with the Factory Times, I'm sure there's no limit on what students or writers can write about. They could write about any topic. I'm sure that would bring in a lot of diverse stories. I'm sure with events, we make sure all students have the right to be heard with our mics and equipment, and we help promote the events that we work at through our Instagram.
For our second question. Senator Gunter.
So what is your understanding of what the Wildcat Media Chair does and the responsibilities and duties of the chair?
To my understanding, the responsibilities of the chair is to make sure that everything is running smoothly in the organization and to help out when necessary, to give the extra support when I need it to be seen, and to lead a team of members that work as one.
Alrighty, for the third question, Pro Tem Schnorr.
If you were to change something about Wildcat Media, how something is run or otherwise, what would you choose?
I think I'd choose communication within the org as well as communication without the org to get the more message across the students that we exist and our options, services we provide to the student body.
And for the final question, our esports team.
What's something that you've learned from an event this year that would help you lead your org next year?
Honestly, the thing I learned this year is problem solving when it comes to equipment. As you know, technical difficulties are a problem we have when you work with technology. So when different technical mishaps, I learned different ways to solve them through different, learning how to fix things, learning how the room works, the room systems, and thinking of solutions that in case something doesn't work, what else we can do instead.
That was the fourth question? Yes? Fourth question. Seeing as that fourth question has been answered, do I have a motion to enter executive session? Motioned by Senator Gunter. Do I have a second to the motion? Seconded by Senator Fisher. Do we have any discussion on entering executive session? Seeing none, that passes 7-0-0.
council meeting it too, so.
Have fun. Alrighty. We're good? Alrighty, congratulations, Rachel. This passed for this resolution. Thank you so much for your time today, and we welcome you to the Horseshoe. In accordance to our motion at the beginning of the Senate meeting, we will now move on to Senate Resolution number 2324-13, SGU budget. Senator Miles. Seeing as this is a committee resolution, you may proceed.
Do hereby resolve this resolution creates a budget for the student government at Utica and its subsidiary student organizations for the 2024 to 2025 academic year. Whereas the SGU budget committee voted in favor of sending the proposed budget to the SGU Senate, therefore be it enacted, the SGU Senate fully supports and endorses the attached budget to be the operating budget for the year 2024-2025. Therefore be it resolved. Be it finally resolved, this budget will allow SGU and its subsidiaries to carry out their mission statement and cater to the students of SUNY Poly.
Do we have any discussion of the budget? Senator Fisher.
My question is to the treasurer. One sec. Did we find out if more students were coming next year or not? I'm gonna yield to the treasurer.
You beat me to my own punchline for the minute. I was actually going to mention that just now. So I reached out to Valerie. I'm thinking she's still gathering the number because advanced registration is still open right now. So I should hear back from that next week. Well, hopefully next week. I won't be here though, so we won't see that. But if I do get a number back, I will be relaying it to Bailey, Ava, so they know as well. And when I come back, I'll make the change when it comes through because I hope, I'm going to say this now, table, once all discussion's done, table this for a week.
So that way we know, right?
Well, so, because if you pass this meeting, I'm gonna be concerned that there's this major concerns that this gets passed in one meeting, because this is our budget. It's big, should have lots of questions come up on it. And it usually does take at least 3 weeks for the budget to pass. So, but for the student question, she has not reached out back to me yet because the advanced registration has not closed just yet. So I'm waiting for that number still.
Do we have any further discussion on this? Seeing no further discussion for this resolution, Senator Fisher. We have a motion to table this back to budget. Do I have a second? Seeing as that there is no Jen, is that a? Seeing as the motion has been seconded, do we have any? Motion has been rescinded. Do we have any further discussion on the resolution? Our treasurer.
Seeing that we're not going to discuss on this week, I want to entertain the motion to table this for 1 week.
Do I have a so moved? So moved by Senator Gunter. Do we have any discussion, or do I have a second? Oh my God. Seconded by Senator Fisher. Do we have any discussion on this? Seeing no discussion, does anybody oppose unanimous consent to the tabling of this resolution to next business meeting? Seeing none, that passes 7-0-0. This has been tabled. We will now move back up all the way. Hold on, I'm finding this. We will now move on to Bill 2324-13. Senator Walke.
Number 2324-13.
Do we have a second? Seconded by Senator Totino. You may proceed.
We, the members of the student government at Utica of SUNY Poly, as represented in the Senate, do enact as follows. The purpose of this bill is to update the SGU policies and procedures.
Do we have any discussion on this bill? Do you want to include your attachment for this?
It's not already in there?
No, I don't think so. For this bill? No, no attachment. We're looking up the attachment. Our treasurer.
If you go into your Google Drive, if you type in SGU policies, you'll see one called official 2023.
This is separate. This is we're looking
different
for a 24. This is Bailey's
I don't even have
version.
access to that one.
I do, because I'm special. We're working on it.
Oh, goody. It's not even in there. Wonderful.
I think it's just bays, right?
Yep. Hang on. It's being sent to you all now.
I feel like Jeopardy music should be playing, but somebody don't actually do that. Don't do it. I said don't do
Should've
it.
already been in there, but I don't know.
You said play it.
I said don't actually do it at the end of my statement. Oh my gosh, he's right.
Copyright. All right, let's go. Let's see how fast I can take us down.
Message. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I don't know how that happened. Here. I'm gonna attach my version.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in there?
Found it.
Where is
this it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys all have it now, so.
I also emailed it to y'all.
Just go into your search bars, type in
Just in
SGU
case.
policy, and it should say somewhere in there that one.
Okay, now that you guys all have that, do we have any discussion for this? Is that discussion? Or were you fixing your hair? You may make a motion.
Read over the changes.
Well, they're gonna have to read it again next week, so tabling it wouldn't do anything.
It's a bill. It gets 2 weeks.
It gets 2
Oh,
weeks,
okay.
yeah,
My bad. Sorry again.
yeah. Our pro temp.
I support esports' non-motion motion. Because we didn't have the actual attachment until now, I think having a full 2 weeks would add up. I yield.
Okay, so you guys, esports.
Motion to table this to next week to give the senators the full 2 weeks to read and fully understand the policies and procedures.
We have a motion to table. Do I have a second? Seconded by Pro Tem Schnorr. Do we have any discussion on this? Senator Walke.
So they won't, like, one of the 2 weeks won't count this week, starting next week, the 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it'll be what? Our treasurer.
So since we're tabling it, it will stay in new business. It will stay there.
Yeah.
It will not be shifted into old business and you guys get forced to vote next week. It stays in new business, next week, new business, and then week following, old business.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we will now move into a period of voting for this motion. All those in favor for the motion to table for 1 week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All those who oppose? And all those who abstain? That passes 601. We will now move on to Bill 2324-14, change in organization structure and recognition. That's going to go to Senator Blackwood.
Motion to accept bill number 2324-14.
Because it's from Policy Committee, it doesn't require a second. You may proceed.
We, the members of the student government at Utica of SUNY Poly, as represented in the Senate, do enact as follows. The purpose of this bill is to change the way organizations within the student government at Utica are structured, defined, and recognized.
Do we have any discussion on this? Seeing no discussion on this bill, we will not be voting on it today. We'll be voting on it next week. We will now move on to Senate Bill number 2324-15, Pro Temp Schnorr.
Motion to accept Senate Bill number 2324-15.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Fisher.
We, the members of the student government at Utica of
Seeing none, since this is a new business, we will be moving on to the next piece of business. Senate Bill number 2324-16, new club funding board policies and procedures. Senator Gunter.
2324-16.
Do we have any discussion? Or no, seeing as this is a committee bill, you may proceed. Oh my God.
We, the Senate of SUNY Poly we, the Senate of SUNY Poly Student Government at Utica, enact as follows. The purpose of this bill is to nullify the current CFB policies and procedures and instate a new CFB policies and procedures.
You just all received an email from me. Hold on. You all have received an email from me with the new policies and procedures in there. I would like to ask if Lucas Nolan, our Chief Justice, would be willing to hold the chairship for this piece of legislation? Alrighty.
I accept the chair.
The chairship has been accepted by Lucas Nolan. I'm no longer the chair.
We will begin discussion with Vice President Fees.
Hi, guys. Miss Vice President Fees. Wow, that was a lot. So I just want to talk about a little bit what was changed in here. One, there were multiple concerns from Budget Committee that receiving all of the club budgets plus the org budgets would just be overwhelming. Completely agreed with it. So I changed that to include a CFB committee instead, in which the CFB committee would have 8 weeks from the start of the spring semester to review all budgets. Did the math on that. It's about 8 clubs. If you have 32 clubs, it's about 4 clubs per week. If each receive 15 minutes, which is the new change in here, it's 1 hour each week. In there, they have the right to hold emergency meetings if necessary. Also, I expect, honestly, the number of some of our clubs to go down, considering we just hired an intramural sports director. So I would assume some of that would fall into their hands at some point, such as, intramurals will start. So hopefully that burden will fall off of CFB and more onto our sports department. But that'll be upcoming discussions to have between CFB, SGU, and our intramurals person. Additionally, in the bill, you'll see an addition that talks about how we will go about running CFB. So anybody who's appointed for the CFB chair now will be the new executive director, and then the actual policies won't begin until 2025, until all budgets have been approved, in which case budgets will not be reset until the spring of 2026. Those were the only additions made to this. I'm going to yield to the floor.
Senator Fisher.
I had a question. There was supposed to be a bill about a warning system? Well, no, it was something for CFB's policy, a warning system.
I have not received any bills regarding a warning system.
yield to the treasurer?
Or treasurer.
That was to our policy.
Oh.
That won't be coming back.
Okay.
Okay.
Our Vice President.
Any further discussion you're going to ask?
Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion and considering this is a bill, this will be in old business next week. I yield the chair back to
I
our
accept
lovely
the
Vice
chair.
President.
I'm the chair now. Seeing as today's business has been concluded, I will enter a period of open forum. Does anybody have anything? That's just how we always have done it. It's a weird thing.
There's a second one.
Senator Fisher? Oh my God, I'm choking on my own water. Do we have any discussion for open forum? Our esports head. He took it from me. Unless you have a class we haven't adjourned yet, do we have any further discussion? Our treasurer.
As you all heard me, I said I'm not going to be here next week. If there are clubs that need help, they can still email me. I just won't be responding as quick. PRs might get slowed down next week, as I will be focusing on an exam that is very crucial for me next week. I yield.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing no further discussion for this open forum, do I have a motion to, I will wait. we've talked about this. Let's wait until I ask for the motion. If you raise your hand, you don't know what you're motioning for. One of these days, I'm going to motion something real weird, and then you guys got to deal with it. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Senator Gunter. Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Fisher. Do we have any further discussion on this? Seeing none, does anybody oppose unanimous consent? Seeing no opposition, that passes 7-0-0. We are adjourned at 1:50.